Hey guys, Bella here. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here and I'll tell you why. I have seen a few vlogmas in the past and I thought they were really awesome. And then I told myself, okay, you know what? This is a good thing to do, And of course, big shout out to every person who subscribed to my channel. It's so flattering. So I'm going to, by the grace of God, do something every day till Christmas. That's what vlogmas is basically. You're vlogging every day till Christmas. Then again, you'll be hearing me talk a lot because that's what I do for a living. And of course, little to no edits on my videos as well. So yes, look out for that. It's pretty exciting. Vlogmas, like I said before, is vlogging every day until Christmas, and I have missed out on almost 7 days. So I'm going to do a day 1 to 7 in this video, so you can basically catch up, and then we'll continue from day 8. Maybe tomorrow, as God gives us grace. So day 1 to 7 on the first day of December. On the first day of Christmas, no, it was the first day of December. I was not in Lagos. It was a Saturday. It was my uncle's wedding, and I was over in the East, Owerri, Imo State precisely, on tour. For those of you who don't know, I'm an actor as well, and this year has been, one beautiful year for me. I got a gig to tour the East with a very interesting story that brings back history of the Igbo people, and in fact, women who have before today been very passionate about standing up for women's rights and women empowerment and whatnot, and was basically reenacting a few things that happened as far back as 1929 and telling the story of a few very strong women who were undeterred to resist payment of tax by women, because at the time they were not allowed to have anything. And then after that happened, they got the victory over the colonial rulers at the time, but then there were a few other things that they had maybe blindsided themselves to that still stared them in the face, and these were issues around inheritance. In some parts of Nigeria, women are not allowed to inherit anything from their husbands. In some parts of Nigeria, when a woman loses her husband, she's asked to shave her hair and do all sorts of ridiculous things. Issues around female genital mutilation as well, circumcising of the girl child, unbelievable things that don't have any medical value, and spousal rape, among other things. So yes, I got the rare opportunity of joining an amazing group of people to tour Nigeria, some parts of the country specifically, and I was so excited to be on that delegation. I think that is the right word. Anyway, so yes, on the first day of December, I was in the East, I was in Owerri, and we had 2 shows on that day. It was a very emotional day for me because I think I just really miss my parents, my mom, in Lagos, my dad of blessed memory, and, there were just many thoughts that came rushing at me. And it was also my uncle's wedding day. This uncle of mine is very close to me. We are very close. And he had his introduction earlier this year, and everybody, including me, was looking forward to his wedding, and I was already prepared. It's like, we'll throw it down on his wedding day because you know what, we know how to turn up and whatever. But I was not in Lagos when the wedding happened, so that just really made me feel weird. But I mean, I had a good show by the grace of God. It was 2 shows in Owerri. The second, which was a Sunday, the first Sunday in the month of December, Thanksgiving Sunday, I was on the road yet again. We were on our way to Aba this time, and it was quite an interesting journey. We had another show in Aba, and it was exciting because the show is called August Meeting, an aftermath of the 1929 Aba Women's Riot. So we were literally at the melting pot of all the activities that happened as far back as 1929, and that added something special, something extra to the performance on that day. There was something maybe in the air, that made it all just come together. It was the last leg of our tour as well, and even more, the responses that we got from people who saw the play on that last day. It was amazing to hear them say the things that they said. It was so encouraging. It was super inspiring, and it really did show us that we're not just doing this just because, but actual impact, was being had or being made on these people and their lives, and in fact the culture that they have held on to for the longest time that has in one way or the other intimidated women and just turned the narrative against her in many instances. So yes, Sunday was really awesome. 3rd of December, I was on my way back to Lagos, and it was an emotional time yet again, because I mean the people whom I had been around for 1 week plus, we were all going back to our destinations, and it was like, oh my gosh, we'll miss you, I'll miss you. And it was, yeah, quite emotional. Everyone just tried to be civil, but I know that everyone in their hearts was just like, no, this tour should not end. It was really amazing. So yes, we were at the airport and we're saying our goodbyes, and it was just so awkward. And everybody decided to keep in touch. We did something very special and nice for our producer, our director as well, incredible guy, and of course everyone who was, you know, on the team. In fact, it got to a point where every conversation we're having was with our lines. It was so ridiculous, so ridiculous. We couldn't have any decent conversation without bringing in 1 or 2 lines from our scripts. It became an actual thing. Got back to Lagos, and on the 4th of December, I was back to work. Got back to Lagos, headed straight to my sister's house, and it was just really beautiful to be back. So my nephew, spoke to my brothers. I mean, we'd been talking, you know, back and forth throughout the tour. So it was good to be back. And on Tuesday, I was back at work. I know, like literally every other person would be getting 1 or 2 days of rest, but not BellaRose. I was back to work as early as 5 a.m. On Tuesday, and it was, of course, good to be back to work. Lots of people were DMing me, tweeting at me, asking when I'll be back and whatever. And it was great to be back at work, City FM, you know, doing the morning show and everything. I enjoy what I do, you know, quite honestly. Exhausting as it can be sometimes, I totally love it, and it was just great to be back. And it was amazing to actually feel missed, you know. Everyone's like, oh, welcome back, I missed you. It's like, oh, now you're gonna make I also went over to Tech City, which is a company that I am very invested in, and of course everyone was so glad to see me. I had spoken to them on the phone when I was in UNN, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and everyone was like, oh Bella, we miss you, or whatever. So seeing everyone again was just really awesome. It was great to be back at work, and you know, just seeing all the faces that I hadn't seen for like a week or so. It felt longer. It was just 1 week plus, you know, give or take 2 weeks, but it felt like, oh my gosh, I've been away for like 3 months. You know, but it was so good to be back and to see everyone. Yeah, what day am I on now? Thursday. Yep, Thursday was a pretty awesome day. Was back at work yet again. I'm trying to do more smart work, so that would mean I'm not exerting myself too much. It would mean I'm not also getting too much stress, you know, while I work, because that's very important. I will talk about how our generation glamorizes and sensationalizes stress, which is really bad, in another vlogmas, maybe. But yes, so I was able to get some manicure and pedicure, got my hair did, and yeah, Friday, in fact Thursday, I had kind of decided that I would go for the Holy Ghost Congress on Thursday and come back on Saturday, early enough for my show on Saturday. But the traffic that we had anticipated, we didn't know how bad it would be. But come Friday morning, my sister and I decided to go get pizza, and by the time we got out, the traffic was so bad. It was so bad, so bad. We had to go back home. And it was terrible traffic. I'm talking 12 noonish, and I was supposed to have a meeting at the office as well. By the time I tried to hail a taxi, there were none. There weren't any. There weren't any at all. So that just was my cue to stay back at home. So I watched the service on TV, channel 349 Dove TV, and at some point we were shuffling between 349 and 198, which was where the experience was happening. There were lots of events in Lagos that day, and it contributed to the ridiculous traffic on that day. Saturday morning, I'm up and I'm at work. Yes, back to work. I host the morning show with a darling girl of mine, Baby Sasa, and we're there, you know, doing stuff. And afterwards, I came back to my sisters, and yeah. So yes. So anyway, So that's basically a rundown of days 1 to 8 of, you know, life so far in December. A lot more exciting stuff, I promise you, a lot more exciting stuff. Very interestingly, in my show this morning, I talked about the tribe you would not marry from and why, and I got very interesting comments. People said, oh well, because somebody possesses a certain character trait, that is why they wouldn't marry from that tribe. And it just, you know, was slightly obvious that it's not a tribal thing. It is more personal than anything else. And I ended the show with a poem from my latest discovery, DIKE CHUKWUMERIJE. The poem is titled The Wall and the Bridge. It's a brilliant poem that I think you should go check out. I'll leave a link to the poem in the description right below, so check it out, and I'm sure it's going to really open your eyes to some hard truths. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for being very receptive of my chatter. Day 1 to 8. I hope to continue with this. If you've got questions or anything like that, stuff you'd like for me to answer, I will do a Q&A one day. Yeah, one day during this vlogmas, as God gives me grace. Do not forget to please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let me know how your December is coming and maybe what you plan to do differently this month. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.